Hello, everyone. That's right. It's the Boxing Source here once again, and I am delighted to have this guest here with me to speak about a few things. It is a lightweight contender from Humble, Texas, with a record of 13-1, with 12 of those wins by way of knockout, and he is coming off of a big TKO win over Abdel Sauceda. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Luis Acosta. How you doing, Luis?
Doing good. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good here. First off, I wanted to talk about that recent win that you had a couple of weeks ago. It was pretty much around that Houston area, not that far from where you're from. So how was that getting that win there?
Oh man, it was lovely. It was exciting. I felt happy. All my friends, family, and supporters all got to come out and see, what I trained to do, what I worked for. They got to see and come cheer me on, and I was happy to please them with a good performance.
Yeah, it was great. You were there amongst your family and friends there. That's pretty much close to that area from Humble, Texas, going over there to Houston, and I'm going to be talking about that stuff there for Humble, Texas. But you know, you fight there in Houston. That was kind of like your first fight actually in the city of Houston. But outside of that particular fight, here in your 14 fight professional career, what would be your favorite city that you fought in?
Outside of Houston, you said?
Yes.
Outside of Houston, let me see. I would have to say I fought a lot of fights in Arkansas, so I would have to say Arkansas. I like
Mm.
got to go and we got to go and fight. The crowd was good. They all supported everything. But also there's a little town, Hot Springs, Arkansas. And it's really nice there. We always go. We drive up this little mountain. You get to drink the water from the mountain right there. And they got a cool little town with all kinds of things to go see, good food. It's always a good little atmosphere right there. So Arkansas, I would have to say.
Wow, Hot Springs, Arkansas. I'm gonna have to write that down. That might be a city that I would want to visit because I haven't heard of like Hot Springs there. That's a good one. That's a good one. Uh, Now I've seen in your record, like I said, 13 wins and 12 of those wins by knockout. You seem to go for the KO in just about every one of your fights. Do you like kind of work on like trying to overwhelm your opponents with power? And just try to be like a hit, not get hit, but overwhelm your opponents with power, or does it just come as it just appears?
Yeah, it just comes as it appears, just like you said. We try to go in and break them down, and I hit really hard. They tell me so. I just go in there and do my thing. I try to relax, and as it comes, I don't try to rush nothing. Because that's when bad things happen. So I just go in, take my time, and if I break them down, I break them down. And if it doesn't come, it doesn't. I had one, it didn't come, it didn't go my way, but it was a good experience, and if it does come early, then I'm happy. I get to go home early.
Yeah, I mean, like some people say, man, you don't get paid for overtime in the ring, so
Yeah, exactly.
you try to get in and then get out as soon as possible. Now, of course, you had your professional career, but also your amateur career, where you had a fairly successful amateur career, amassing nearly about what 60 wins
Yeah.
there while you were an amateur. Now, being that successful there in the amateur, how did that prepare you from the transition from amateur to pro?
Amateur, I always tell people, they say, does it really matter? But yes, it does. It prepares you a lot. You get to get in there. There's so many fighters in the amateur, just so many different styles, and you get to fight more constant. So the amateurs is very important. You get to work on your craft. You get to try different things. Because at the end, it's all experience. But I mean, there are fights that do matter. So you got to take it serious, but not so like, oh, I have to win every fight. It's a good experience. And when the tournament style fights come, that's when you use everything you practice in local fights and everything to win them championship, win them titles and everything.
Yeah, and with amateurs is that some people that are new to boxing or aren't that familiar with boxing don't realize that sometimes in the amateurs you have the tournaments that are pretty much in the same day, so you
Yeah,
can fight like 2 or 3 times in the same day, and like you said, like it could be one fight in the morning, and then you wait until the afternoon, and you may have another fight, and then you may have another fight in the evening. Then you gotta, stay focused and stay on weight for each one of those fights, and sometimes you have it where it's like that almost 2 or 3 days straight.
Yeah, it was. I had one. I think it was I went to the title tournament and the ringside tournament, but every day I had a fight. I got just so happened that it was such a packed fight that every single day I had a fight, come back, make weight, fight, come back, make weight, fight. All the way to the end.
Yeah, that's one of the more difficult things there is trying to stay on weight,
Yeah,
because it's like,
it
I mean,
want to have energy for the next day, but I mean, so you got to eat, but you want to stay on weight for the.
right. Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's like, I mean, hey, depending on like how you like start the day, if you
Yeah,
have to like cut weight, then you cut weight, and then you
yeah,
make weight, you fight, win, and then later on you're like, shoot, I just got to drink water or something. You know what I mean? Because you can't like really, eat
I,
much of anything because you got to have some type of energy,
yeah.
but it can't be like too much to where it'll make you be overweight. So that's one of the things that I think is one of the toughest things, being an amateur and having all of those tournaments, is staying on weight to make all of those fights consecutively. There, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it takes a little toll on the body too. Mentally, also, you're like, God dang it, I want to just have some food. But the victory in the end, and if you win the championship, it's all worth it. You get to go home, have a good victory dinner right there, just relax for a little bit.
yeah. Now, going to your beginnings in boxing, like what age did you start in boxing?
I actually, well, compared to others, they start at 8 years old, but I started at 16, almost 17.
So it was like some people would say it's like fairly late or whatever it is, but even then, you were still able to grasp the sport, fairly quickly and be very successful on that.
Uh,
You know,
we,
um,
we, I did pick up pretty good. We trained for, I think we trained for like 8 or 9 months before we ever had a fight, and we were just in the backyard, just grinding and training out there, just every day, like proving, if I wanted to do it, because it's a tough sport. It's a lot of discipline, a lot of sacrifice, and it's not for everybody. But the day came for the fight, and we took off from there. It worked out.
gotcha. So I mean, did it just like come out of the blue around like the age of 15 or 16 that you said, hey, I want to start boxing, and then
Yeah.
you just
Actually, my family's always been into boxing. My dad and my uncle, my grandpa, my uncle, my dad had some well, amateur and professional fights when they were younger. And one day I was just, watching he was always into boxing, watching boxing videos, and he always wanted us to get into box. I have two brothers. I'm the oldest, but he always wanted us to get into boxing, and we always kind of like refused, like, nah, we don't want to fight. I mean, because it's scary. You got to go in there and fight somebody. So, nah, we won't. He'd take us to the gym and train a little bit, and we never really stuck to it. But one day I was just watching a boxing video. I was like, you know what? Let me give it a try. It looks kind of fun. I think I watched like a Mayweather training video, and the background music, it just gets you like motivated. I was like, let me try
yeah.
it, and there we go. He was like, all right, let's start tomorrow. I think he bought me some amber gloves, and we went in the backyard and started training.
Oh, maybe yeah. You saw some with Floyd Mayweather, the speed drills, something where you
Yeah.
like watching or whatever it is, and it gets you, it gets you motivated. Sometimes those highlight videos, can get young kids motivated to say, hey, maybe I could, get in this sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they do. They do. There's something about them. It gets you pumped up.
Yeah, gotcha. Like you said, you're a part of a boxing family, and you have your uncle and your father that was in the boxing game, and you have your father there as your trainer. How's it having your father there as your head trainer from beginning up until now?
Yeah. Oh man, it's beautiful. There's no better person to have than your dad training you, or a family member training you. Because y'all know each other already. There's no getting to know each other. He knows my everything that just gets to me. He knows what can pump me up. He knows what hurts me. He knows what he knows you inside and out. So that's the good thing about it. Uh, but there come dad and son, bump heads sometimes too. That happens a lot, but at the end of the day, I know he's the coach, so no matter how fights happen or whatever, we come back. Hey, you're the coach. I do gotta listen. But man, it's fun having your dad as your coach because you train together, you go and fight together, you come home together, eat together, everything. So it's fun. It's really fun.
Yeah, you had that familiarity, from, like you say, your beginnings at, 15, 16 years old and then up until now, so that, he's able to see, what, um, is needed in order for you to perform at your optimal level. So that's, very good, right there. Um, Now you were coming up there at like, 16, 17 years old, starting, your boxing career, but also, you had, your academic career and you graduated from the University of Houston
Yes,
with a degree in exercise science and kinesiology. Um,
yes.
Now, real quick on that, here's a quick question for you. Over the course of that time in your, your bachelor program, what was your toughest course in those fields?
Oh my God, I would definitely know the answer already. Chemistry, that was super.
Oh,
Chemistry was rough. I'm like, oh my God. It was one of my last classes too. I was already about to like, man, I'm about to give up. I can't pass this class. But ended up my cousin, she took a whole bunch of like some like her major had to deal with chemistry and she knew everything. So she tutored me and helped me. Thank God I found her because man, it was really going downhill. I was like, I don't know if I can do it, but that class was kicking me in the butt for real.
man,
It was
chemistry is like, phew. I mean, even in like high school, in high school, chemistry wasn't all that bad, but once you get into college, that chemistry course was like
way
absolutely brutal.
yes, it was bad.
I'm like, man, I can take any of the science course. Let me take physics, man. I'll do biomed physics 1 and 2 or whatever it is. Just keep me off of chemistry. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? That was brutal, but I mean, you were able to get through it, and you got your bachelor's degree, and that's great because you have it where you've been part time, doing that, and training and being in boxing field. So you were going through your what was it, your amateur career, I guess it was, or what year did you graduate from the University of Houston?
2020. I graduated 2020.
Oh, okay, yeah, so that was recent. So yeah, that's great, man. That is great. So you had, like I said, pro career, and then just shifting back and forth because you have your schedule, with your college courses, and also your schedule, with training while boxing. But like you said, you have your family around you, a strong family around you, so it just keeps you grounded.
Yeah, the support system was great. It really helped me a lot. I don't know if I could do it without them.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Now, now the thing with your family too, I've heard that they have a
Restaurant.
restaurant business. They're over in your hometown, Humble, Texas. Like kind of going to that a little bit. It said, what is it, like Tina's Tacos? I think it is.
Yep, exactly. Tita's Taco House in
Yeah,
Humboldt.
yeah. So, like, how long has it been there in Humble, Texas? And I've, heard like a number of, notable people have visited that restaurant.
Yes, we've been open since 2009. So we've been there for a little bit already, and man, it's really been great. It took off, and all the people that come, they're not even they're regulars, but they come like all the time. But they're more than that. They're friends already. They're family. There's people that come every day, sit with us. We know them by name, like everything. They're all friends, and it's a good little thing we got going there.
Oh man, I gotta see like, how far it is from Houston. I could, go to Houston, land in
Oh,
Houston.
actually, if you land at George Bush Intercontinental, it's
Mhm.
right down the street. We're right there. So we that come from all kinds of states. Anytime they fly in, that's their first stop.
Oh, word. Oh, okay, okay, yeah. So if there's like, if I'm there in Houston, or if there's like a long layover, I can see if I can leave out there and then stop by and then pick up a couple tacos and then come right back in the airport.
Yes, sure, for sure. Yeah, we'd love to have you.
Gotcha, gotcha. Thanks on that. Well, outside of all that, what would be something about Luis Acosta that you would like the public to know that maybe they wouldn't be all too familiar with or something like that?
Oh man, that I'm hungry. I'm ready to please everybody. I want them all to know that I'm out here working. And I'm not just fighting for myself out here. I want to fight for I'm a people champ, I want to fight for the people. So I want to make all of them happy and hopefully if I make it in boxing, I can do something outside to help everybody. I want to I've always said I don't want to just make it myself. If I can, I want to bring everybody up with me. So just help all my friends, family. Let's all do it. Let's all make something.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, that's great. You help out, the community around you, your family around you, and things like that. And like you said, you want to be, the people's champion, like The Rock.
Yeah. Hey,
Uh,
yeah.
so that's very great there, man. One more thing here. Like you said, you're currently campaigning in the lightweight division there, 135 pounds. Now, do you feel like you're comfortable right now at 135, or do you feel like pretty soon you may go up to like 140 later on, or soon in your career?
Yeah, well, right now I feel comfortable at 135. I feel strong. I feel really good. I feel just the most powerful. But one day in our career, if we get through this 135 division, I'd like to move up to 140 and take on some people out there. There's everything in boxing and everything to have. So all I got to do is train hard, stay focused, stay good and healthy and in shape, and hopefully everything goes good. But yeah, 135, 140, later on in my career, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, I mean it's very deep divisions there. 135 and 140 is it's always been a very deep and high talent pool
Yeah.
there
Yes.
in those divisions. So that like opened things up for you to have a great career in both of those divisions.
Yeah.
Now I know that you had your recent fight a couple of weeks ago. Do you like have any news about when your next fight could possibly be?
I have to speak with my manager, but hopefully soon. Hopefully within the next couple months, we'll have another fight. Maybe late October, early November. Somewhere around there. Whatever he has planned, I'm ready for it. So he's a smart man, and we believe in him.
Gotcha, gotcha. I think that's David McWater, correct?
Yes, David McWater.
Gotcha, gotcha. Quick shout out to David McWater there for guiding the career here of Luis Acosta, and
Sure.
thank Luis very much here for taking the time to speak with us here at the Boxing Source. If you have like any social media things there, like Instagram or whatever it is, let the people know where they can follow you.
Follow me on Instagram at Luis Acosta 00. And I also have a Twitter. You just Luis Acos Luis. So LuisAcosLuis.
Gotcha.
But Instagram is pretty much my main one, Luis Acosta 00.
Gotcha. So y'all can follow him on Instagram and Twitter. Y'all, listen to the handles there for his social media accounts. So be sure to follow him and see what will be next here in his professional career. And like I said, I thank Luis Acosta very much for taking the time to speak with the Boxing Source, and we'll be looking out for the next fight for him here in the near future.
Sure, thank you. I appreciate it.
Gotcha. No doubt. No doubt.